Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Rob T, from What's on My Mind. Listen, we're about to start the podcast. Before we do, I just wanted to say a few words about our awesome sponsor, Metroflex Gym San Marcos. We've been pumping them like crazy on the show, and there's a reason for that. You see, it was a few years ago. It's probably about 5 or 6 years ago I first stepped into Metroflex. I got to meet the owners, Daniel and Michelle Haggerty, and let me tell you something. Just them alone makes the very reason why I go to this gym. Back at that time, I was at my heaviest at 465 pounds. Yeah, pretty heavy, I know. Anyway, I walked into the gym. I talked to Daniel and told Daniel exactly what was going on with me at the time. I had some health issues and things like that. And he wasn't interested about, the money. He was interested more in me and my health. And I will never, ever forget that. So, it's for that reason alone that I still continue to go to Metroflex. This is about 6 years ago. Now, since then, I've had, fluctuations, of course, as we all do. But the one thing that I love is that these guys don't give up on me. They don't call me a quitter. They don't press me or anything, but they definitely motivate me. If you are looking for a gym that is going to look at you and care for you like family, I'm telling you, you've got to go to Metroflex Gym San Marcos. If you're in the San Marcos area, it could be Kyle, Buda, could be New Braunfels. You're not that far away. Metroflex Gym is really not that far away. Look, the address, it's really simple. It's 2101 Clovis Barker Road, San Marcos, Texas, 78666. That's Highway 123, like you're going to Seguin. It's not that far. Okay, look, if you want more information, look them up online, www.metroflexsanmarcos.com, or give them a call, 512-878-8575. Metroflex Gym. They care for you like family, but also it is the hardcore place to get back in shape. Don't forget, Metroflex Gym. Hey, this is Rob T.
Hey, this Big Will.
The week is almost through.
And there's a lot we've thought through.
And we just want to share it with you. Some of it may be motivational.
Some inspirational.
But it will always be sensational. So sit back
and relax
and check out What's on My Mind.
Hey-o. Hey.
We are on episode 53.
Yes, 1 year and 1 day.
1 year and 1 day. That's right. We just celebrated our 1 year anniversary,
yes,
and there was no cake.
No cake.
Will, you dropped the ball on that.
Ah, my bad, bro. My bad.
What's up, everybody? This is Rob T.
It's Big Will.
And you're listening to What's on My Mind. And for all of our Mexican listeners...
Oh,
¿Qué está en mi mente?
Welcome, Mexico. Welcome.
Hey, man. So, for all you football fans out there, I got to tell you, if you know the game, well, you know the game of football, right?
Oh, yeah.
You know it really well. So, every now and then, the quarterback will call a play. Well, he does it all the time, but here's my point. When he gets on that line, right?
Yep.
And he sees that the defense is lined up in such a way that they possibly know what he's going to do, what happens?
Well, he calls an audible.
That's right. So guess what we're doing right now? We're calling an audible.
Yep.
So we had a guest lined up for today, Mr. Ryan Gutierrez. Unfortunately, he couldn't make it due to a family emergency. And so we wish him the best and wish him well. Hope everything's okay. So Will and I... Will, it hasn't been you and me in how long?
Oh my God. I'm thinking about a year.
So we about to do this whole thing just off the cuff, just me and Will.
Yep.
We're gonna kind of talk a little bit about the past, series we had, but at the same time, like,
wait, I got an idea.
What's up?
I'm gonna go live on this thing right quick.
What?
Let's just reminisce about the last 12 months.
We could do that too. We did a video that did that.
No, we didn't. We did a 15-minute video.
Still, we reminisced. So, yeah. So anyway, but I do want to talk about this past month because it was interesting. It was definitely interesting.
Yeah.
Because for me, the main reason why it was so interesting was because when we went into this thing, I had one way in mind how I thought it may go, right? And I got to be honest, Will, your nieces, their friends, surprised the heck out of me. They were a lot, what's the word I'm looking for? They were a lot deeper.
Mature?
Well, yeah, mature for sure. But it was just, they went a lot deeper with some of the stuff that they talked about, Yeah. Now, granted, there was some of that stuff that I was expecting of the teenage kind of teenage issues, right? But I really feel we made some headway with kind of coming to an understanding, I guess you could say. So, in my opinion, I think at the beginning of the podcast, beginning of the series, there was that whole feel of like they were kind of taking over things and stuff with the content, with the discussion that they talked about. But then last week, when we talked, I kind of feel like we took back the control. Like, yes, we took it back literally, but I think in the discussion, in the narrative, what we were talking about, we really got them to understand our points of view and the reason why adults say the things that they say to young people.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sorry. I know young people don't agree with this. Some do, I'm sure, but a lot of them don't. But the bottom line is, as adults, we have that thing called experience. And there's going to be some things in life that we just know more than you when it comes to that.
For right now, yeah.
Now, I think it was Maya that was saying it, how with certain subjects that might not be the case. You know, of course, like we were talking about, she bakes.
Yeah.
Of course, she's gonna know more than me in baking because that's what she does. That's her forte.
That's her thing.
Yeah, I'm the guy that cooks. She bakes. Of course, she's gonna know more.
Which is funny. Miguel was all stuck on baking on food.
Yeah, I know that guy was. He was funny, but
So was I.
So yeah, man. So it's like that. When it comes to stuff like that, yeah, of course I get it. But life in general, come on, man. Adults are always gonna have more. They know what's up. They've been through stuff. You know what I mean?
Well, we've experienced things, we've lived things, we've done things. But you know what? I'm gonna try to take an opposite approach to this for you.
Sure, man.
Or maybe even we can get to a little bit, conversation about it.
Excuse me while I take a sip from my What's on My Mind cup.
That's right. It says Rob T on it.
It says Rob T on it. Yes.
So here's my logic. Yes, they could learn. I kind of forgot I was gonna go with this now. So yes, they could learn. But here's the thing. Is with things changing in daily life, maybe the change is not because of we're getting older, but because they're experiencing things faster.
Yeah, life is a lot faster for youth now. That is for sure. You definitely can't compare apples to apples in this situation because their upbringing is a lot different. I'll give you a great example. I remember one time I had a discussion with my sister. My sister's got 2 boys, okay? And I gave her crap one day because, I give her crap all the time, but this particular time I gave her crap because she never lets her boys go outside.
What?
Yeah, she never lets her boys go outside by themselves to go play or anything like that. And when I heard that, I'm like, come on, man, that's like one of the best things about being a kid, man. You go outside, you go play with your friends and this and that. And then she kind of enlightened me to the fact that unfortunately, this world is not the same world it was when we were kids. You know, there's certain neighborhoods where you just can't go up the street and call your friend and go ride bikes and stuff like that because there's other areas where there are sexual predators out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's a whole different world, and this is where that whole inexperience, my ignorance when it comes to being a parent because I don't have kids. This is where that kicks in because I don't know what that's like. But I will say this, looking at the state of the world and the way things are now, I'm actually kind of thankful I don't have kids, man, because there's
Thanks a lot, Rob.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks a lot, Rob.
but seriously, I mean, there are things as a father that I'm sure you kind of worry about now because
by far,
and
just a little piece of that is interactive gaming. Of online gaming.
Oh, bro, I'm not. Shoot, that's something I wasn't even thinking about. Yeah,
I mean, because my kids play a game online, and I make them play the game online in the living room,
so you can keep an eye.
So I can keep an eye on them,
right?
And I have a camera watching them.
Okay.
So even if I'm not there, I'm still watching what they're doing.
Right.
So, guys, that sounded so bad, didn't it? I have a camera on. Anyways, so here's the thing: is I watch because there's dialect, there's conversation, there's people doing things on there,
right?
And I'm gonna be honest with you, that's a little scary to me.
Yeah, man.
Because you don't know how old the person on the other side of that phone is or that internet connection is.
Very true.
And we didn't have that when we were growing up. We had a Nintendo console and we were just playing right there. If you're not next to me, then we ain't playing.
Yeah, and here's the crazy thing. I laugh about it because I was thinking about this comedian. Steve Trevino. I think it was one of his specials from back in the day, and it's funny to hear about, but at the same time, it's a sad reality.
Yeah.
Right. There's always been sexual predators. There's always been pedophiles. There's always that's kind of probably since the beginning of time we've had that going on, right? But back in our generation, it was something that I hate to say it, but it's the truth. It was kind of accepted, not accepted as like, oh, it's the norm.
It was hidden.
It was hidden, right? And if you said anything about it, more than likely the responses would be, well, just stay away from him next time. Nothing was ever done, right? And that's the sad thing, is that it almost kind of normalized that behavior for those from our generation when it comes to stuff like that. And the thing is, no, that's not normal.
Yeah.
That's something that needs to be addressed. That's something that needs to be taken care of, you know? And then to find out that, like, speaking personally, I won't get in too many details, but to find out that kind of stuff happened in my own family, not my immediate family, but in my family, like big, you know, like Steve Trevino says in his special, we had that gay uncle that liked having sleepovers, you know, you know, that's kind of what I'm saying. And it was funny to hear that on a comedy show, but it's a sad reality that unfortunately that's kind of the truth. You know what I mean? And I know personally people in my family that shared their stories with me and told me themselves that the reaction that they got when they finally spoke up was, yeah, don't go around them next time, or, you know, don't dress a certain way around them, or whatever the case may be. And that's just wrong, because that kind of puts the blame on the victim when you do that, you know. But yeah, man, you're right. It's a whole different world, and I feel for you that's something you definitely have to worry about. It shouldn't be that way, but unfortunately it is. Yeah. You know. That's
very true, bro. Yeah. Very true.
Yeah. And man, your daughter's not even a teenager yet.
Let's not even get into that. Let's even get into that one.
So yeah, man, it's crazy. But anyway, so going back to the podcast episodes, your nieces brought up a lot of really good points, man. They said a lot of really cool things. The friends that they brought with them, great stories, a lot of them. Griffin still sticks out in my mind because, yeah, we're going to have to go back and erase that. I just used his real name. Back it up a little bit.
No, we're good with him.
We're good with him? Oh, that's right. He signed the form.
Got a form.
Woo! Got scared there for a minute. That's like I said, we're doing this on the fly. On the fly. Anyway, he was very that kid was something else, man.
That kid was cool.
He's what's the term? He's woke.
He's woke.
He's definitely aware of what's happening, what's going on.
I would like to bring him in when we have a conspiracy series.
That would be an interesting discussion.
Get a young man's point of view.
Yeah.
Along with everybody else we have in the room.
Yeah, no doubt, man. That would definitely be interesting, man, for sure. So anyway, we definitely want to hear feedback from you guys that heard the shows and heard the podcast. Now, we were hoping that Ryan Gutierrez would be here because he had some interesting points on what he heard as well. He was very impressed by these young people as well. But unfortunately, like I said, he couldn't be here. So maybe we'll bring him back in the future, and
hopefully we can bring him back, and hopefully, you know, we'll figure something out. And I'm thinking maybe in a couple weeks after Bruce, we may swing him in here. They can go through the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he could hear everything else and piece his whole shuffle together.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely want to get his take on it. So maybe we can come back another day. Maybe we can make it a podcast extra or something, and have him come back and give his spiel on it. So, but if you haven't heard those episodes yet, I highly, highly recommend you go and check them out, especially if you are a parent and you have teenagers, or if you're an uncle or an aunt and you have teenagers. I mean, you definitely want to check these out. I think there was a lot of content on these episodes that will definitely spark some conversation for sure. So make sure you go back and check them out. Man, go back and check out. We have a lot of great episodes that are. Do me a favor though. Here's the thing. As we said at the beginning of the show, we just celebrated our 1-year anniversary, which we're very happy for, which we're very proud of. Do me a favor, please. When you tell people about our show, tell them to stay away from the first episode.
We talked about this last night too.
Oh my God! I was in Victoria this weekend with family. It was my mother-in-law's birthday. Big shout out to my mother-in-law. Happy birthday! Happy birthday! Had a great time. I always have a great time when I go to Victoria. Got to hang out at the pool.
I'm gonna be in Victoria in 2 weeks.
Really? I bet you ain't gonna be near a pool.
Nope. Won't be there. Be there,
Anyway.
hot apartment.
I got to hang out at the swimming pool, hang out with the family. We had some great barbecue. Barbecue flowing, drinks flowing, just a good old time. My cousin, my wife's cousin, but my cousin by marriage was there. He started talking about podcasts. And so of course I mentioned our podcast. Said he hadn't heard any episodes, but that he would listen to it. So Will, I told him, I was like, man, we just got through doing a series, with teenagers, and before that we did a mental health series. You should really check those out. He goes, yeah, I'm gonna give it a listen. I said, great. I text that boy the next day. He said, yeah, man, I heard the first episode. I'm just like, why did you hear? Oh my God!
Which one of our fans said we went from Will Smith to Parents Just Don't Understand?
I know, right? I didn't even think about that. That's hilarious, though. He said he liked it, though. He said it was a good subject, and he was engaged, and he even complimented my voice, saying I sounded like I had a voice for radio. He could have been worse. He could have said I had a face for radio. He didn't. Just saying. But anyway. But no, we're just very happy. I just wanted to say that if you guys haven't heard any of our other episodes, you should go back and listen. We got a lot of great content on there.
Oh yeah, listen to Daniel Haggerty. Listen to the Joshua Gonzalez episode.
Yeah,
Salvador.
that was a great episode. That was back in November.
That's right.
We did that
Oh,
2 weeks in a row.
We did one kind of in the second week of November, and then one right the week of Thanksgiving.
That's right.
That's when he dropped some crazy stuff about what's going on.
Yeah, man, he did, and it's really that was a really really good one. We interviewed Raymond Horta, the comedian. That was another good interview.
About 2 months ago. 3 months
Yeah,
ago.
man, that was so we've had the opportunity to talk to a lot of really cool people, a lot of interesting stories. February when we talked to the couples, that was really good.
Let's go segment.
Yeah, very, very cool segment. Chuck and June always stick out in my mind because they're just awesome people.
I like Chuck's rants. I can't wait till we bring him on the show.
Yeah, I know. This whole COVID thing just messed everything up.
Oh yeah.
We had so many plans of doing different segments and whatnot, and then here comes this coronavirus or whatever you want to call it, and this thing has just thrown a wrench in everything.
Everybody's system.
Yeah, 2020 has been a crappy year, man. With the exception of what's happened to me and my wife recently.
Yay, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Everything else is like, you know what I'm saying? And
yeah. Oh yeah.
It's like, I mean, don't even get me started on just all the little things that are going on. There's so much going on right now in our world that you don't know what to believe. Like, I'll be the first to tell you that I believe that the COVID-19, the coronavirus thing that's going on, we'll call it COVID-19 because I went to see my doctor yesterday, and he told me coronavirus has been around for over 50 years. This is just a different strain of a coronavirus, right? So COVID-19, I know COVID-19 is real. I don't doubt that it's real. I buried an uncle last week that died because of COVID-19. Okay, so I don't deny that it's real, Will, but I think you can agree with me when I say that this whole pandemic has been has been highly politicized.
Oh my God.
The media has just been spewing fear, and again, please don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying that the virus is not real. I'm not saying that. It is real. I am just saying that the media is blowing it up a lot more than what it needs to be.
Yeah, I agree.
The numbers have been inflated. That has been proven. Call me conspiracy theorist all you want. Do the freaking research.
You know what's funny? Is they're going to have to call a bunch of people conspiracy theorists because you know what? Everybody I've talked to at my daily job,
Yeah.
I've talked to doctors and nurses and stuff
Right.
from my company I work for.
Right.
And they even say dude, we haven't had that many people die from coronavirus. We've had a certain amount of people die, yes, but they've died from other issues that became an issue when COVID-19 entered their body. See, they don't even blame it on the COVID-19. They, respiratory infection that went to pneumonia, went to swine flu, now COVID, and blah 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 blah.
Right, right. What about the guy? And again, you don't believe what I'm saying? Google it for yourself.
Yep.
Don't come at me with your conspiracy theory crap that I'm talking out because there's people out there that have told me these kind of things. Whatever, dude. You don't like what you're hearing? Turn it off. I really don't care. Okay, it's my show.
Turn it back on next week.
It's my show. All right. Got a problem? Just email me and I'll make sure to throw it away. Anyway, anyway, love you, Will. Anyway,
try to build a fan base.
I've got people. I'm not gonna make it plural. I'm not gonna throw out lies. I know somebody personally who reached out to me, said that they stood in line. Now they go to get tested, right?
Oh, I remember that.
They signed in because you need to sign in that you're there.
Correct.
And they stood in line. The line was long. Brother got tired of waiting. He left. Gets a call the next day, or not the next day. I'm sorry, it was a couple days or whatever. And they tell him he tested positive for COVID. And he said he told them on the phone, really, that's kind of hard to do when you don't get tested. And they were like, oh, whatever the case may be. And this is
what's a guy?
This was a guy, yeah. Yeah. So here's the thing, though. This is not an isolated incident. This has been a recurring story that I've heard happening all over the place, right? Again, I go back to what I said.
Even not the WHO, the CDC came out and said they've mistested some of the tests and has actually accidentally contaminated the samples to give them COVID-19.
Right. And so, like I said at the beginning, I reiterate, I want to make it clear to our listeners, I am not saying that COVID-19 is not real. I'm not saying that. Okay? I am not saying that at all. What I'm saying is it is being blown out of proportion. Okay? Think of it this way. My doc, again, I was at the doctor's office yesterday. He told me yesterday that more people die from the flu every year than we've lost to coronavirus or to COVID-19. Okay? Now, imagine if the media shine the light on the flu the way they've been doing COVID-19. Everybody would be scared to get the flu.
Oh yeah, by far.
You know what I'm saying?
Far.
Saying there are people out there that think that if they get coronavirus, if they get COVID-19, they're gonna die. That's the first thought.
You know
what's
funny? When I first heard about coronavirus, COVID-19, the Kung Fu flu, whatever you call it.
China.
So, anyway, that was funny. You had to put that water out.
It comes from China.
So, if you ever realized when this virus first came out, it was killing people, and they named it as a virus that will kill you.
Right.
But then, some miraculous reason, it didn't kill as many people as it was supposed to kill.
Right.
And then it made its way to the United States, and it didn't kill as many people as supposed to kill here. But yet, what people see is a number. They see a high number. But what people don't consider the fact of the matter being is that Texas is bigger than probably half the continents out there in itself.
Right.
So yeah, we're gonna have big numbers because we have a big continent, a big country with billions of people in it.
Yeah, and the other thing too is Trump's not lying when he says more people are getting tested. You get more people that are going to get tested, you're gonna get more positive results. So it's like
more fake results that are positive.
True. But still, let's just say even if the numbers weren't skewed, you will get positive readings, which means the numbers will go up. Duh, you test more people.
More people get a positive.
Exactly. And so it's ridiculous. The fear. I stopped watching the news about 3 weeks ago.
Dude, I stopped watching news back in March.
I couldn't.
Let me rephrase that. I stopped watching the news about 4 years ago.
I couldn't do it anymore. I heard, I think it was you that said this or somebody said this, like, man, when is this coronavirus going to end? It's like after the election.
That's me.
After the election. And it's like, I wouldn't be surprised I really wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, here's the thing, folks. I'm not trying to get political with you.
Yeah, you are.
Those of you that listen to this podcast have heard my little jabs and things like that. You know that I'm a Trump supporter. It's no secret. Some of you love that I'm a Trump supporter. Some of you hate that I'm a Trump supporter. But the bottom line is this: you're still listening. Anyway, in this thing, I don't want
more.
so on my statement I'm about to make. I'm not trying to politicize this. I'm not. But I think we can all agree on the simple fact that I was going somewhere with this and I lost it. We can agree that the craziness that has happened has been to get Trump out of office.
True.
Come on.
True.
I mean, whether you're Republican, Democrat, Independent, you've got to admit that everything that's been happening the goal has been to get our current president out of office.
True.
And unfortunately, I'm not going to sit here and insult Democrats. I'm not. What I am going to say is not tonight. What I am going to say is this. The Democrats right now have shown more concern to get Trump out of office than to do anything for the country. That's a fact. Whether you're Republican or Democrats, I'm sorry if I'm making you mad, but show me in the Democratic agenda that's not saying or not that the goal is not to get Trump out of office. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Interesting.
Am I wrong?
I'm not disagreeing.
Okay. You know, I mean, seriously, that's all I see.
But to change the narrative just a tidbit,
Go right ahead.
is, you see, I think we as people don't understand change correctly, and we don't adapt to change correctly. So in my mind's eye, or my mind's point of view, is that when you sit there and you get a guy who comes in who's a little vulgar, essentially, a little more out there, but does things in a different way and has proven results. You know what I'm saying? People don't like that.
No.
Remember, we're living in a bubble society right now. So he's not living in the bubble. He's like, I'm out. I'm busting the bubble. We're doing this differently.
Right.
And I'll be real honest with you. At first, I kind of didn't want to vote for the guy, but then you started looking at who was running against him. I was like, I kind of got no choice, you know. And I went with Trump when I voted. But then you realize too is that you sit there looking around, you start seeing what's happening, and you turn around, and you're just like, you know what? This dude has done great things for our country. If we would stop focusing on the idiocracy of what's happening in the past and focus on what's current, what's really changing in our society, you would realize there was a change. But see, here's our problem, is we don't want to open our mind. We don't want to open our heart. We don't want to open our intellectual capacity to say, this dude did make a difference.
Yeah, and I think you hit the nail on the head about the whole change thing, because Trump is not a politician.
Nope.
Everybody was expecting him to be a politician. They're trying to fit this man into a political mold when that's not who he is.
That's right.
He's a businessman, right? Real estate guy. I mean, let's face it. He's a businessman. He runs businesses. He's all about the almighty dollar. He knows how to make.
He's gonna make money one way or the other.
Right. So when I would hear all these things about, oh, well, he had, you know, these properties that were, and they're trying to say all this bad stuff. It's like, that's business. Mm-hmm. You know, was it bad business? Was it good business? Who knows?
Potato.
Exactly. It's business, right? So then here's the other thing. God bless all of anybody listening right now from New York. I love you. Love everybody. Love all Americans, okay? But let's be honest. New Yorkers have a reputation. You go up to a New Yorker and be like, hey, what are you looking at? Chances are they're going to respond to you. What the heck you looking at? I'm still trying to figure out what's in front of me, you ugly mug. You know, that's a
bad accent. Bro.
I know. But you know, you get what I'm trying to say.
Let's just not do that again.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, well, it's like with Texans. They think us Texans all talk like this. So, you know, so anyway.
You got to have a slower draw to that.
Sorry, anyway. But New Yorkers do have that reputation of being very abrasive, very defensive. And dude, that's Trump. The dude's a New Yorker. He's also a businessman.
He's a New Yorker.
Yeah, a shrewd businessman at that. So if you got somebody calling him out or calling him names, of course he's going to come back with a name right back at you, Sleepy Joe Biden or whatever, the stuff that he says, the do-nothing Democrats. He says all that because he gets attacked, so he retaliates. He's not a politician.
All I gotta say is tell me one person who's been attacked.
Yeah.
Who's politician, not a politician,
right,
in the schoolyard, out the schoolyard,
right?
Who's been attacked and has done nothing about it.
Yeah, exactly.
I sit there mess with my 9-year-old son and teach. I'm trying to teach him how to retaliate when somebody attacks him verbally,
right?
Just because he's kind of a little, he doesn't understand the thing, so I'm always messing around calling him fat. He's a skinny kid. He's like the skinniest kid.
Right.
But man, you fat. Who you calling fat? Fatso? I'm just like, dang, this going nowhere. But it's cool. I mean, I'm doing any good fun, and I understand it's good fun. But I'm like, dude, you can only call me that. Don't call somebody else that.
Right, of course.
But it's teach him respect at the same time as. I said, but you also realize too is it's a good comeback.
Yeah.
Give me some of that.
Yeah.
Little fist pump.
Yeah, I mean, but so the bottom line is, our president is not going to be politically correct, man. No. He's not, and he's not going to care about your feelings.
Nope.
Because right now his main goal is our country. Whether you want to believe it or not, his best interest is you, the American people. That's his best interest. Doesn't matter your political affiliation. Because let's be real. If he really only cared about Republicans, as far as I'm talking about American people, right? I'm talking about the citizens. I'm not talking about the politicians in Washington. If he only cared for Republicans and not the whole country, he would have just given out stimulus checks to Republicans.
Yeah.
But he didn't, did he?
No, he's not their president.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. And here's the funny thing, Will. I bet you anything. When he gave out those stimulus checks, bet you those people that are voting Democrat cashed them. We'll be right back after these messages from our sponsor.
Do you suffer from problems with your skin? Maybe you have acne, rosacea, or you just want to have a younger and healthier look? Then Chic Boutique is the place for you. Chic Boutique prides themselves on being a corrective skincare clinic. They offer cutting-edge technologies, as well as their own professional product line. Your skincare goals will be reached quickly and effectively without being invasive or using toxic chemicals to achieve the results you desire. They offer customized facials, advanced skincare treatments, and so much more. They also specialize in permanent makeup and body treatments. Give them a call at 830-556-0815. That's 830-556-0815. Stop by and talk to them in person at 2115 Stevens Place, Suite 1010, New Braunfels, Texas 78130. You can also find them online at www.chicboutique.org. That's www.chicboutique.org. And guys, don't feel left out. There is a treatment for you too. Don't knock it till you try it. Start your skin journey today by calling Chic Boutique.
Starting a business can be very challenging. Man, starting anything can be challenging, even a podcast. When we started our podcast, we had a lot of hurdles we had to go through. But I tell you what, Will and I are so thankful to have an awesome team of people helping us along the way. And one of those people, well, actually one of the part of the team, is Blue Orchid Design Company. They helped us out with an awesome logo, and you guys have seen it every week when you listen to our podcast. They do web design, graphic design, esports logos, business logo creation, product mock-ups, and business consultation. You got to contact them today. For more information, go to goorchid.com. You can also find them on Facebook at facebook.com/Blue Orchid Design Company. This is the team that Big Will and Rob T trust. Give them a call today. Are you looking for your own custom shirt design? Maybe you have an idea for an awesome cap that no one else has, and maybe you think you just don't have enough money to get it to happen? Well, look no further. Call CJ Design. That's right, we're talking custom shirts, caps, stickers, and decals. high quality at the low price guarantee. Maybe you have a youth group, church function, family reunions, work events, doesn't matter. Call CJ Design for your own specific high quality design merchandise. Call or text at 737-202-8331. That's 737-202-8331. CJ Design, and make sure you ask for Juan. Whoa. Oh, no way. Hey, Will.
Yo, what's
Get
up?
over here. Look at this.
What am I looking at?
I'm in Facebook right now. Look at these numbers.
Dude, what did you do?
Dude, look at these numbers now in Instagram.
What? How?
Yeah. They've gone up in just a couple of weeks.
How?
By listening to Enid Jones. That's right. So if you are wanting to start a business in 2020 and you wanted to grow on social media, then you know where you need to start? You need to contact Enid Jones, the Social Mermaid. She's a photographer and social media strategist. She will help give you a strategy to move forward in 2020 with a practical, realistic approach or growth. For testimonials, reviews, and more, you need to go find her on Facebook or Instagram. We listened to her, and in just a couple of weeks, man, our numbers are up. So if you go to Instagram, you can find her by pix.by.enid. That's pix.by.enid. And if you go on Facebook, just search Enid Jones Photography. She's not that hard to find. Go and search her today. Do you own your own business? Are you looking for a platform where you can advertise and just get more people to come through your door? Well, look no further than the What's on My Mind podcast. In case you didn't know, What's on My Mind podcast is probably one of the fastest growing podcasts out there today. Our audience is not just local, but worldwide. Our numbers in the local market seem to go up every single week. These are people that can be walking in through the doors of your establishment. All you have to do is contact us at wommpodcast@gmail.com. That's wommpodcast@gmail.com. Use our platform as your platform to get your business out there for people to notice you. Again, contact us at wommpodcast@gmail.com. All you got to do is contact us. We'll contact you back, and we will make this thing happen. Help us to help you. What's on My Mind podcast? That's the place to do your advertising to get your business out there. We're looking forward to hearing from you. And we're back. But before we continue on with our discussion, I just want to mention a couple of our sponsors live on the air. Well, live for us, but pre-recorded for the rest of y'all. Gonna talk. First off, I want to talk about Silver Spoon. You guys have heard it here many times. Silver Spoon Dinner Theater. It's a place you need to go for a wonderful date night. Get yourself a nice gourmet meal with some awesome entertainment. That's Silver Spoon Dinner Theater. They're located at 6700 North I-35, New Braunfels, Texas. Basically, head out to the ski ranch and go upstairs. That's where they are located. For more information, call 210-865-3711. You can also check them out online at silverspoon.com. That's SYLVER spoon.com. And if you go, you make sure you let them know that the boys here at What's on My Mind podcast sent you, Rob T and Big Will. And who knows, maybe they might hook you up with a little something. And tell Cody we said hello, okay? Also, another one of our sponsors, this is a new sponsor, Collector University. That's right, folks, Collector University. Now, they sell a variety of pop culture collectibles. This includes comics, trading cards, Funko Pops, action figures, and more. If you want more info, if you'd like to see what kind of inventory they have, check them out on Facebook, Twitter, and on Instagram just to see some of the latest hauls that they have, okay? Now, whenever they ship something out, they place a special bonus item in a different package with every purchase. So make sure you keep an eye out for that. That's Collector University. You can find them, like I said, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You'll get all the information there. They have their stuff up on eBay, and he's got some good stuff up for sale right now. I actually just purchased a Darth Vader light up Funko Pop from him. And awesome Funko. It goes right along with my Kylo Ren Funko Pop that lights up as well. So Check them out. That's Collector University. Another new, brand spanking new sponsor we have is GA Automotive and Tire. This is where you can get a brake job for only $199 on most vehicles. Okay, that's a complete brake job. That includes the brake pads and the rotors resurfaced. All right, they're located at 4431 Lutzinger Lane, Austin, Texas 78745. Their phone number 512-444-7005. That's 512-444-7005. Just remember, for the best deal in automotive today, simply call GA. That's right. All right, so that takes care of our sponsors. So also I want to mention that we do have t-shirts available.
Yes.
We still have stickers available as well. We do need to order more because we are running low. But guys, we got merch, man. If you guys really like our show, help us out a little bit. Support us. Come on, man.
What's your problem? What you
give us a little bit. You know, you tired of me talking about politics? Then you need to pay me money. No, I'm just kidding.
To keep you talking about politics.
Anyway, yeah, so we do have some merch. If you guys are interested, just hit us up and just send us an email. They're available in white and black. Now, we do specialty colors as well. You can pick whatever color you want, but that's going to be an extra $10, okay? We'll have more information up on our social medias for you guys to check out. But if you're interested, just hit us up on social media or send us an email, and we will get that ordered in for you. We also have What's on My Mind cups that can get made for you. I'll put pictures up of that as well. And we'll give you all the information on how we can get that done for you as well. So we're back, and during our break, I had to sit in the corner because I was being bad because of my political rant. I'm sorry, people. I don't mean to offend, but you know, I can get pretty passionate with stuff going on in the world, especially when it comes to politics and whatnot.
We'll see that for our November episode.
Sure. Yeah, because that's going to be when it's election time. I'm going to be talking some stuff then. Y'all need to tune in.
Actually, we should do it right around December, or right around October.
Maybe like the tail end of October or something like that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm going to be, at that time, I'm going to be on a high. You know why?
Uh-oh.
I'm going to be on a high because by that time, I will have moved into my new house.
That's right.
You know? And by that time, I probably would have helped pay for that down payment on that house with the stimulus check that my president Trump sent me. Okay? Right? And then right around the corner, we have the election. So I'm going to be on a high. I'm telling you. It's going to be all about the Trump train up in this place.
You come in wearing a Magna hat?
I'm MAGA.
Oh, my bad.
MAGA.
My bad. I thought I said that in my head. For some reason, it came out different in my mouth.
I'm going to walk through that door, Will. I'm going to have that red cap on me. Come on, ride the train. And ride it.
Oh, my God.
Woo, woo. Okay, I'm sorry. Enough politics.
Enough politics for that, guys. We're gonna go back to what we've been talking about.
Yeah,
our youth episodes.
You know, and honestly, for the youth of today, you know, to be able to be successful, you know, and stuff, they need to support our president. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow.
I'm kidding. I'm just joking. No, man, seriously though, episodes were great. So much so, your daughters.
Wow.
They're not your daughters.
Not my daughters, bro.
Your niece has really impressed me, which is why you can let the people know now. We talked about bringing them on to do segments.
They're gonna do a segment once a month.
Once a month, we're gonna have a segment because we actually reached out to a lot of teenagers with these episodes, and we kind of want to keep them on. You know, they're probably not listening to this episode.
I hope not.
But yeah, so I think it's a great idea to talk about topics that are important to us, but let's also see what the reaction from the younger generation would be on that subject matter.
For sure.
Because as you know, I was surprised at how much Griffin was in touch with what's going on now.
Yeah.
You know, even the political stuff.
Yeah.
And that was crazy. You know, I mean, that was very surprising. Seriously.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah. So
truthfully,
we're going to start that, I don't know, next month? Is that what we're starting?
I think we're doing it this month.
This month, okay.
But they were doing it at the end of the month.
Yeah.
Because school's starting with them.
Right. And then another thing we're going to start doing that we're really excited about as well is you're going to be able to listen to our show not just as in a podcast format, but we're also going to start videoing the podcast.
Video cast.
Yeah, video cast. So that's going to be a lot of fun. That's going to be really cool.
That's going to be a lot of work.
It's going to be a lot of work. But, Will, it shows that it's growing. Our little podcast that we started off talking about Will Smith
52 weeks ago.
Yeah, is growing, which is awesome, and it's just another way to get our platform bigger and
go up. So that being said, if you haven't found our YouTube channel, subscribe.
Yes.
Because there's going to be things on the channel that we're not going to do in person.
Correct.
On the audio side.
A good example of that is the little video that we did regarding our anniversary.
Our 1 year anniversary
video.
video.
That we just released that on YouTube. If you haven't seen that yet, you need to go to YouTube and check it out.
Go find it, channel.
We had a nice little chat, kind of reminiscing about the past year.
So you pushed me out the frame?
Yeah, shut up. Did not realize I was doing that. How many times I got to tell you?
You almost did that in the other video too.
Anyway, so we will have content strictly for the YouTube channel every now and then. So you guys, y'all want to check, if y'all are really enjoying what we're doing here, you're definitely going to want to check that out for sure. A lot of the segments that we're going to be doing with Maya and Vanessa, they're also going to be YouTube segments because they're going to be video segments.
Yeah.
So you're definitely going to want to check that out as well. And as always, we want to hear from you guys. We want to hear your ideas on shows.
Segments.
Now, having said that, I gotta make this really clear. I've gotten some ideas from people. Mm-hmm. They're not all winners. I love you guys to death. I do.
Wow.
But some of them, I'm just being too blunt today, aren't I? Some of them are just,
Oh my God.
I mean, some of them are just a little out there. That's all I'm trying to say. Thank you for the suggestion, but don't call us. We'll call you. Okay, that's all I'm saying. You get an A for effort. How's that? How's that? Okay, that's good. But there have been a couple of suggestions that I do want to tackle. One of our very devoted listeners, whose name is Lucas, months ago he suggested this, and I do want to tackle it, and that's divorce. But
divorce in the church.
Divorce in the church, exactly.
I remember that.
Exactly.
That's when I was researching that.
Yeah, I wanna tackle that because for those of y'all that don't know, I'm actually divorced. I was divorced, and I was I'm a Christian and I go to church and everything, and I face some struggles with divorce and stuff like that too. So I think that's a very, very good subject. I know pastors that have been divorced and have literally been asked to step down from their position because they were divorced. Yeah. Is that right? Is that wrong? There's just so many avenues you can go down just on that subject alone. So that's definitely a subject I want to tackle for sure. Who knows? Maybe we'll even do a thing to where if you make a suggestion and we love it and we want to do it, we'll bring you on the show and talk about it.
You know what? I saw a suggestion from one of our listeners here today. Mm-hmm. It's a current event that's transpiring right now.
Okay.
But I just don't even know how we can do that episode.
What was the suggestion?
Vanessa Gillen.
Now, it's funny you say that. I saw that.
Right.
And I like the suggestion.
I do.
I've actually been trying to see if I can get in touch with a family member through social media.
Right.
Haven't had any luck.
Right.
So hey, listeners, if you happen to know the family or can get in touch with them, I'd love to bring them on the podcast.
Yep.
And bring
even if it's a Zoom call.
Yeah, and shine more light on this because yes, something needs to be done. Definitely something needs to be done. It doesn't need to be swept under the rug.
Nope.
And
it's going to be,
which sucks, but we shouldn't let it go dark. Let's be honest. We have a great platform here. I mean, technically, we are now part of the media world because
very true.
Because we have a podcast. So I got to be honest. Well, I think it's our responsibility to shed light on this.
So I'm gonna take that same page you just mentioned.
Yeah.
So we do have to adhere to the FCC.
Of course. Of
So
course.
and there are things that they limit.
I didn't
what we
cuss,
can.
did I?
Not today.
Okay, cool.
Not yet. But so there are things we have to be limited on.
Okay.
Things we have to do. That's a lot of what's going on with our YouTube channel. I'm trying to get things situated and cleaned out and cleaned up, so when we go video, it's done legit, correct, all that good stuff.
Right.
So what people don't really realize is that we are a media outlet
Right.
now. So we actually could get media credentials to maybe interview somebody in the U.S. government.
Really?
Think about it.
Wow.
But I don't even know where to start on that stuff, though. That's an uphill battle.
Right. That's an interesting thought, though.
Think about it.
Yeah, that's
Rob T interviewing somebody from the Pentagon.
I don't know about all that.
Well, you never know, bro. You never know.
Yeah, let's interview Bill Clinton.
What kind of weed you smoke? I mean, not in hell. Sorry. Not in hell.
Oh yeah, he didn't hell. Remember? It's like, what would you ask Bill Clinton? So, what were you doing with Epstein on that island?
Anyways, non-political. Remember?
What? That wasn't political.
Yeah.
Anyway. No, but seriously, I would like to. I was really seriously looking for a family member because everybody's on Facebook.
Facebook or Twitter.
Yeah, exactly.
Or on the gram.
Yeah, so I was trying to see, if I could find anyone, and unfortunately, I have not had any luck with that. So I'm going to continue to try though, because I would like to definitely talk about that for sure. But as I said before, man, we are very open to your suggestions. And here's the other thing too: if we don't
respond back fast.
Yeah, or if you don't hear your suggestion, like Lucas is a great example. Lucas gave that suggestion, honestly, when we kind of first started the podcast, and it doesn't mean that we didn't like it. It just, other stuff came up and things like that. But that's definitely a subject that I want to tackle. On the same token, if your suggestion is kind of lame, yeah, you probably won't hear from us. But anyway, so I don't know, man. And here's the thing too. I love this platform because we're able to share our opinions, but we're also able to share our faith through some of these things that we talk about. Mental health was a big one. I love that we were able to share the stories of people that are suffering with different mental illnesses that they're dealing with, and then to be able to have somebody like Pastor Fuji come in and shine the light of Jesus on a dark situation.
I've heard more people who's listened to June's series. They've listened to every episode in June's series, and I've been told time and time again that it's at one point in every episode there was a dark spot, and you people would say, "Man, this, that, and the other can't come out."
Right.
And then how can they correlate this back to Jesus or whatever?
Right.
And then Pastor Fuji came on, and he literally shined a light on every dark spot and made it whole.
Right.
And I had a guy, a guy from Florida, okay,
right,
one of our listening states, reach out to me and told me, he goes, "Hey," he goes, "I listened to your whole series on mental health," because he suffers from mental health himself. I was like, "Okay." He goes, "Wow." I feel for Michelle Haggerty. He goes, I'm in the exact same situation. Apparently his wife's, I guess, some he didn't go into detail, but she has a mental illness as well, and he's suffering just like Michelle does. He goes, I connected so well with that story from Michelle, and then turn the very end of the whole series. I listened to every episode, and then you had that pastor come in, and he was just like, bro, he just took it to a whole different level.
Right.
He goes, and growing up, I'm not a believer, but I'm not a follower. I'm a believer.
Right.
There's a big difference there, people.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So he knows of God, but he doesn't live like he doesn't live the lifestyle. So he said when he heard Pastor Fuji speak and the story he gave and every illustration he painted out for everybody, he said it literally opened him up and made him realize what's not going on in his own mental health illness, how to heal his own mental illness, and then how to explain it better do Jesus Christ.
That's awesome.
I was just like, wow. Let
That's
me try to get a hold of Pastor Fuji. Tell him that. But won't talk nobody.
Yeah, that's awesome, and that's huge, and that right there, what you just said, is the biggest reason I'm so thankful for this platform, because there's a good chance we will never meet that guy.
Well, I guarantee you we're never going to meet that.
Yeah, but still, something we put together. Thank God for, right? First and foremost, all glory goes to him. But that was able to touch his life.
Yeah.
Whereas chances are we probably would have never crossed paths. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, there are times, I'll be honest, man, there are times when, the week comes again and the day comes that we gotta tape another episode and everything. I'm not gonna lie, there are times when it gets kind of like, oh, I'm gonna go do another episode of the podcast.
It's very monotonous.
Very monotonous. But I will say this: it's never like, oh, I gotta go do another. It's never like that.
Yeah,
I enjoy doing it.
For sure.
Yeah, I enjoy doing it. But yeah, it gets a little monotonous, and you don't see that grand scheme of what's really going on here.
Yeah, what people don't realize is let's peel the curtain back for a little while.
Yeah,
let's go ahead and expose this with them. Is what people don't realize is we have full-time jobs.
Yeah.
Well, I have a full-time job. I'm off on Tuesdays, but I'm busy so much between the kids, meeting people, meeting sponsors, picking up things from sponsors,
right?
Getting everything situated.
Right.
You're at work all day long.
Right.
Getting tired of hearing all the nonsense going on over there.
Yep.
And then we have to convene here.
Yeah.
And we have to basically do a pre-production meeting.
Right.
Do our pre-production meeting.
Right.
And then go into production.
Right.
And do what we just kind of talked about, but not really, because tonight was really,
yeah,
really a curveball. Thank you, Ryan.
Yeah. but then there's sometimes too, going on what you're saying, unexpected things will happen, like Ryan not coming. But not only that, like last night, we filmed last night a little promo video with our guest for next week, and we got home late.
Oh yeah, I got home at 12:30,
and it's a work day, right? Now, granted, you were off because we're recording on a Tuesday.
Yes.
I had to get up for work the next day, so yeah, and it's technically something we're not getting paid for.
Yeah,
but it's okay, because, like the story you just shared about the guy in Florida, that's the reason why. Yeah, because people like that these stories are making an impact on people.
Oh yeah, for sure,
and it's amazing, man. Cody Schilling, we had him on the show. He poured out his heart, talked about his friend who committed suicide and how he got into skydiving and now how things are with him. Man, that awoke something in him, bro, because now he does little videos on Facebook where he's just talking about random stuff, and it's all positive, and he's all about lifting people up and everything. And it started with our podcast.
Wow, I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
I follow him on Facebook. I don't see why I don't see his videos. I gotta check that out.
Now, granted, he hasn't posted a video like that up maybe in a couple of weeks, but it's been something that he's been doing.
But I have been off Facebook a lot lately.
Yeah,
I've been busy with a whole lot.
Right.
Lot. These sponsors are killing me.
But it's good to have them.
They're great to have.
Yes.
I love our sponsors.
Yes.
I love every single one of our sponsors.
Yes, same here. And yeah, so this platform, we don't take it lightly. We do appreciate everyone that's listening. We appreciate all of you. Doesn't matter your belief, doesn't matter race, doesn't matter gender, none of that. If you're listening to our show, we love you and we thank you. Yes. For listening to our show. Yes. And we hope that the things that we say stir up all kinds of feelings and emotions. Hey, honestly, I hope we make you laugh. Hey, I hope I piss you off sometimes. I hope that you side with us sometimes.
And be honest with you, to keep on that note.
Yeah.
I know me and you, we've been friends for a good long while now.
Yep.
And the one thing that we've really have a good connection on is we seem to see eye to eye on a lot of things.
Right.
But when we get to laughing and joking like today, when we're sitting here waiting, oh my God, we get hilarious.
Yep.
And what's funny is I'm gonna start filming those, and we're gonna start releasing those as little YouTube extras.
Yeah, don't film what we did today.
Not today. Not today. Not good.
Some of the stuff we do should not be.
I have to have a Professor J edit that out for us.
So, hey, I'm actually glad you brought that up. So, we're happy to announce that the What's on My Mind team has grown a little
right.
bit. We have John Garcia, who is basically he's pretty much our video department.
That's correct.
If you want to call it that, basically, he handles all of our video editing. He's gonna be when we start releasing these episodes on YouTube. We're sending him the content. He's gonna basically
Create them and put it together.
Exactly, and we're so happy to have him on the team.
That's right.
If y'all remember, John, he was a guest of ours back in March.
Yep.
If you haven't heard that episode, go back and listen to it. It's a really good episode. John and I have a lot of history, and he talks a lot about our history. Funny story about when he met me. It's good stuff. You got to go hear it.
It's funny because every time we talk about John,
Yeah.
I think of that story.
That
about
story.
You being eaten.
It was a funny story, man, and it's all true. None of it's exaggerated.
Oh, yeah.
It's all true. It's all true, and we're still best friends to this day. But yeah, he's part of our team now, so we're really thankful for that. So yeah, big things are happening for us. You know, little steps, man, little steps. But I think the day is gonna come when this podcast is gonna grow. Dude, you said it yourself. You were the one that told me first, and I got to tell you, I agree with you. I think the time's gonna come where you're gonna get 2 episodes a week because we have to.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
We are getting there.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so
And then when you get to 3 episodes a week.
man, all I know is when the day comes when we're doing 5 episodes a week, we better be getting paid for that. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, but you know what? Here's the thing: is we're gonna have a whole building called the What's on My Mind Studios,
That would be awesome.
and then we're gonna have our What's on My Mind room for us.
Yeah.
Cause that's what's gonna be our 5-day-a-week job.
Dude, that would be amazing. That would be amazing. I would love that. And I would love to be able to, you know, branch out to other forms of media. You know,
yeah.
video for sure, dude. What if we had a TV show? You know, stuff like that, man. I mean, I think it's doable.
Speaking about TV shows, I'm still upset. Those people have never reached back out to me to create something with them.
Yeah, it's okay. It's just not time yet. It's just not time
They're
yet.
gonna come knocking on my door in about 6 months to a year. Watch.
Yep.
I caught it right now.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so no, I'm just, you know, really, I can't tell you guys enough how thankful we are to have you guys as listeners. We know a lot of you by name. We got an email from one of our faithful listeners who's ordering a What's on My Mind t-shirt.
Yeah.
And he's gonna be I love what he said in the email. I need a What's on My Mind I need a What's on My Mind t-shirt in my life.
That's right.
I was just like, heck yeah.
That's a true and loyal fan, and I really appreciate this person who's doing this.
Yeah, for sure. Not much for his choice in football teams, but that's okay. That's all right though. It's all good.
Not everybody can be perfect in all aspects.
Yeah, that's
Cowboys.
true.
Cowboys.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. Speaking of Cowboys,
Speaking of Cowboys,
so you guys have already probably, if you've been following us on social media, which if you haven't, what is wrong with you? You need to be following us on social media. Right? I mean,
right.
they're missing out,
That's
man.
right. They're missing out, and just because of that, we're gonna when you release the thing on Thursday,
Yeah.
or today.
They already know we're recording on Tuesday, fool. It's all good.
when this episode's released, make sure you share all of our social media content.
Yes.
So they can connect with us.
Oh, for sure. So anyway, having said that, the reason why I said speaking of Cowboys, you guys have seen our social medias. You've seen that next week we're gonna have a very special guest.
I'm excited.
By the name of Bruce Gonzalez. He is the bass player for the Christian hard rock, metal, whatever you want to call it, band Relent. Relent just signed with Rockfest Records, which is a label that is run by Joseph Rojas from Seventh Day Slumber. And man, this band is amazing. I love their music. I can't say enough good things about it, but we're going to have Bruce in studio. He's coming all the way up to where we are here in Kyle, and he's driving from San Antonio. We got to have a nice little conversation with him last night, recorded a nice little promo video that I did put up earlier today. So if you haven't seen it yet, go check it out. But Bruce is going to be on the show, and man, he has a lot of interesting stuff going on in his life right now. Ain't that right, Will?
That's right. He sure does.
And he's like, just after talking to him last night, I was really, really impressed with the fact that he's not one of those Christians that just talks to talk. He's definitely walking the walk.
He's definitely walking.
He is not the Christian rock star.
I want to tell you one thing. Out of everything we talked about last night, the one thing, the absolute one thing that literally touched me in my heart, when I woke up this morning,
Right.
it's all I can think about was this one thing he did.
The luscious mane of hair that he has
Not
coming out
that.
of his head. Oh, okay.
Come on, dude, that's not my style, bro. Maybe yours.
Just kidding. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Was what he does with the abortion clinics.
Yeah.
You know, as a father of three,
Right.
you know, just really. I mean, I've had family members who's lost children, and I've seen people who had to bury their kids in their life. You know, just friends from high school and whatnot.
Right.
You know, just seeing what he does in that whole circle. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
wow.
We'll get him to talk a little bit about it next week for sure.
We're definitely gonna. Yeah, we're
'Cause-
definitely gonna have.
Because
to talk about that.
it's straight up ministry. I mean, what he said, what really stuck out to me is that he's not one of those dudes that's like sitting there protesting. You know what I'm saying? Like
His protest is actual action.
Exactly.
That's the difference between. See, that's faith in works.
Right.
And people seem not to realize that. Is we seem to want to get one-sided, one-directional, and do things a certain way. But when you put your faith in action, and you speak and you do things and you stand up to something, stand up for something.
Right.
That's when you become a true minister.
Right.
And wow, Bruce is when he was showing us a slideshow and everything that they do within his ministry.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
There's so much more that he's involved with, mentoring kids, you know, and things like that. I was truly, truly impressed, humbled.
I was blessed.
And exactly, I was blessed as well. We are definitely going to get him to talk more about his ministry, because as great as Relent is, as great of a band as they are, what he's doing ministry wise far supersedes Relent.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, they're a great band. Their music is awesome. It's got the gospel. They speak the gospel. But Bruce, in just the ministry, he's walking out the gospel.
Yeah, he's living it.
That's not to say that Relent's not doing that. I'm not saying that at all. Don't misquote
you.
Don't misquote me. Don't misinterpret what I'm saying. I'm just saying Bruce is the one guy from the band that we've gotten to speak with, and he shared with us his ministry. And yeah, it's amazing, man. It's really, really cool. So I'm really looking forward to having him on the show next week. It's going to be really awesome. He's a great guy, man. And I'm so surprised the fact that he's a teacher.
Yeah, I'm blown away by it.
Yeah.
I'm blown away. How he's a rock star teacher, man.
Yeah, that's what it seems like, right? So make sure you guys definitely tune in for next week, as well as we have Bruce Gonzalez from the band Relent on our show. That's going to be a show you don't want to miss. So as we wind down here, this has been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We haven't done this in a long time when it's just you and I talking.
Yeah.
Going back,
get to speak.
Yeah, I know, right? Going back to the last series that we did, do you have a favorite episode of the series?
So I'm gonna be very honest with you. No,
Really?
I don't have a favorite episode of the series.
Okay.
That is my favorite series.
Really?
We've done.
Wow.
Just because to hear what the kids go through today
Yeah.
opened my eyes to so much stuff. And, you know, I was a little bit oblivious to the fact of what they have to live through.
Right.
Because, you know, when I'm 16 years old, I'm thinking of me being 16 years old. I'm 40 years old today, you know, and I'm sitting here listening to these
Your
kids.
birthday?
No, I'm just saying, as of today, I'm come on.
Yeah, your birthday's in April, I know.
I know, 420, baby. Anyways, so as I've listened to what they talk about, how they share, what their daily lives are like, I'm gonna be very, very honest with you. It's the same. School hasn't changed, and what affects me more than anything else, and what I just can't just get over is we want to change society as we know as of today, how the adults live today. How about we start to schools and change the way they behave in our schools? And then we know what, after we turn that around, then that's going to change our society as a whole.
Yep.
And if you realize is what they've shared, and there's some stuff they shared off the microphones,
Right.
They, during the breaks and whatnot, and before and after, is just I'm still amazed. I mean, it's just amazing how can we as a civilization be so one track minded at an early age, and we're not changing nothing of the guard.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
You know, that's what offends me more than anything else. More than anything else is we live it that way.
Yeah, dude. There's so much you could dissect.
Yeah.
From what we talked about.
Yeah.
Just the way that society sees females.
Yeah.
That's just one tiny aspect of it. You know what I mean? That you could go into and spend hours, days, probably just trying to bring light into that and talk about how messed up that is. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, that I think I agree with you. Although I do have a favorite episode.
Which was that one?
That Griffin. Because Griffin was so woke, man. It was amazing. Just having him on the show and just conversating. And I'll be honest, the show did not go the way I thought it would go with him.
Yeah.
You know, like I had this perception in my mind that being that he was a 16-year-old gay young man, knowing that he was going to be walking into a room to do a podcast with a couple of Christians.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, I seriously thought we're going to have an angry
debate.
Yeah. Because right away, I think anyone who's homosexual, knowing they're going to be talking to Christians, are going to be like, why do you hate me so much?
Yeah.
Like, that was what I thought was going to happen.
Exactly.
It was opposite.
Yeah.
It was opposite.
But one thing that amazed me with him in general in itself is I was amazed by the fact that he was so much mature. Now, I'm not going to say all 16-year-olds are like that.
Right,
I'm not going to say half the 16-year-olds are like that.
Right.
But I am going to say that 16-year-old is like that.
Yeah.
And that 16-year-old showed me as an adult that, wow, these kids really are intuitive to what's going on in society today. And they really do pay attention to what mom and dad do during the day.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, and they're watching the election, they're watching the news networks, and they're watching everything. He even brought it up in the show.
Yeah.
One station's broadcasting this one side, the other station's broadcasting this other side. He said, "Can we just meet in the middle?"
Yeah.
I was just like, "Wow, this is 16-year-old kids saying this."
Yep.
But
for sure. Yeah, it was definitely an eye opener for me too. For sure.
I will tell you this much though: is I am gonna put this on record and put this out to everybody. Amaya and Vanessa are my nieces, and I am very proud of them for doing this series with us, because in essence, it shows everybody the mind of a 16-year-old girl who's living life in high school today. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I have a 12-year-old who's basically gonna be there in a few years.
Right.
So now I get a precept of what she has to look to, and granted, it's gonna change, but what she's gonna be living in when she gets to that stage.
Just 4 years.
Just 4 years, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. Yeah, remember we were trying to keep it a secret that they were your nieces?
Yeah, and then they went out
and put it on blast. So, yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, man, it was definitely a great series. Again, if you haven't heard it, you need to go back and listen to it. It's a really, really good series. Last week's episode, at the tail end, there's some great information on there for young people that are looking for employment, for a career. There's some great information on there that you need to listen to, that I shared with everybody, that because I work for the workforce, you know, that kind of thing. I'm not going to get into it today because it's all already on that podcast. So
I will say this much, is it's amazing that information is out to people to see.
Oh, I know. I was surprised at the fact that your sister had no idea.
No idea what was going on.
Yeah, and I got to be honest. I've been working with the workforce now for going on 5 years, and it never ceases to amaze me when I talk to people that they say they've never heard about this. Yeah. So for me personally, for the county that I'm working in, I'm trying to get the word out to schools and things like that this program is available. You know, man, honestly, had I known well, to be fair, this program probably wasn't available when I was a kid. But if it would have been, dude, I got to tell you, I might have tackled it, because
me being a truck driver, AC repair.
Yeah,
guy.
Because college wasn't for me. I knew that from the get go.
Yeah, college isn't for everybody.
Right.
I know that.
And this is definitely a better alternative.
And what's crazy though is all these kids was like, "Whoa, my God, look at this!" I remember the episode when you said a truck driver makes an average of $25 an hour.
Right.
What are we doing? Is a common response to them. I was just like,
Yeah.
"Oh my God, don't quit school."
Yeah, no, don't do that. Don't do that. But it's true, you know. So there are other trades and stuff out there that they can take where the training doesn't take a very long time. You know, as I stated last week, just to get your CDL, it's a little over a month of training. I think it's 5 weeks. You know, so depending on the occupation, of course. But again, if you want more information on that, make sure you listen to last week's episode. Well, Will, I think we are at the end of this particular episode. We want to thank our guest, Ryan. Oh, yeah, that's right. He isn't here.
Wow.
I'm on a roll, aren't I?
You sure are tonight.
I'm just kidding with you, Ryan. We do know that we are going to have Ryan back in a couple weeks. He did happen to reach out to us during the podcast. Thankfully, everything is good with his family emergency, and we're thankful to God for that. And he will be back in 2 weeks, and we're going to talk about. Honestly, we're going to kind of recap the teenager episodes, and he's going to give his take on it and stuff like that. It's going to be a great discussion, I think.
Yeah, as a assistant pastor for his church, as a youth minister as well.
Right.
He's going to give us a great insight. He shared a piece of it with me today. I won't share it with you guys.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's going to be a good one for sure. But next week, Bruce Gonzalez with Relent will be on the show. So make sure you keep it here. Oh, and that's another thing. He wants to answer some questions. So give us your questions. If you are a Christian rock fan, you have some questions for him, please hit us up on our social medias or email us at wompodcast@gmail.com, WOMM podcast@gmail.com. If you were a fan of Relent, maybe you have a specific question for him. He said no question is off limits, so this should be fun, all right? So that's on next week's show. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. Like we said at the beginning, it was going to be a little off the cuff. We had to throw an audible because circumstances being what they were, our guests couldn't be here. I think it was a pretty fun show. It was pretty funny. You got to hear me go on a political rant for a little while. I'm sure I stirred the pot a little bit. We may have lost some listeners. So if
share with your friends.
Yeah. So if you're listening to this and you're already saying I'm not going to listen next week, all I got to say is don't let the door hit you with a good Lord split you.
Come on, man, come on. You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me.
But I do love you. I do love you.
Killing me, Smalls. There goes our average download.
Numbers for this week 20.
Won't be surprised if they do.
No, in all seriousness, I love all you guys.
Yes, we do.
Seriously, we love our
We
listeners.
love all of our listeners. If everyone interested anywhere, you see us anywhere on the
Yes.
street, don't hesitate to welcome and say hi and take a selfie.
Yeah, don't hesitate. Don't hesitate at all. We love it that you guys listen, and yeah. So anyway, that's all I got to say. We done. We got work to do after this podcast anyway. So thank you guys again. I am Rob T.
I'm Big Will.
And you've been listening to What's on My Mind.